This is my bunghole. This is my bunghole wrench. Let's talk about prepping 101. And the topic today is water supply. Welcome back to 556 Media. I'm out here doing something that I hope a lot of you would be doing. I'm a prepper, obviously, but one thing that I do is I maintain a large quantity of water on hand should the water system shut down, become inoperable, become contaminated, things like that. So here's one thing I do. I have a 55-gallon drum of fresh water. I keep it out here. Now what I try to do, and I'm doing it right now, is I cycle the water out. So 55 gallons of fresh water. I'm taking out the old water that's been there for a couple years at least, probably more than that now. And I'm running it out. The hose, the drain hose, the pump drain hose isn't really long enough, so I'm just doing it in a bucket, so it's going to take some time. Obviously, I've got a smaller drum, but keep this on hand and refresh the water every couple years at least. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm taking this 55-gallon drum full of water. I'm inserting the pump as the rigid end that goes into the drum and the flexible end that comes out, and you hand pump it. It's kind of hard with one hand, but you hand pump it and it drains the water out, and it will continue to flow as long as the water level in the tank is higher than what you're draining it into. In this case, I've been doing it for quite some time, so it's not. So I'll just have to keep pumping it out by hand. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the garden hose, flush it out, and then refill this 55-gallon drum with fresh water. Some people like to put tablets in there that make the water last longer, kind of like they do with fuel. I don't do that. You can, there's nothing wrong with that. I just like to have just fresh, plain water. And in a lot of cases, this can be potable, meaning it can be used for cooking. You should heat it up or boil it first. But at a minimum, it can be used for general purposes. So another tip from your Uncle 556 Media. All right, speaking of water prepping, I just thought I'd show you this little, I guess you call it prepping system I have. Take some old soda bottles, some old milk cartons, juice cartons, whatever they are. Save them, rinse them out, fill them up with water. These are in my basement along the wall. I'm not going to use these for cooking or anything like that. These will be used to fill up the toilets, because anyone that knows anything about toilets knows that all you need to do is fill up the tank in the toilet, hit the handle, it'll flush. And I've had to use this system once before for about 3 days when there was no water coming into the house, no well, nor public water coming in, not at this house, another house. So it's a good idea. Save a few empty soda bottles and empty milk or juice gallon containers and fill them up with water, store them someplace. Just don't use them for cooking and drinking, and you can leave this sit until whenever. Just use them to fill up the water tanks on your toilets, and bam, you're in business. Thought I'd bring that up since we were talking about water. All right, so there you have it, a little prepping lesson. The 55-gallon drums are cheap. The pump is cheap. You're just using basically your garden hose to fill it up, and we'll hand pump to drain it every couple of years to refresh the water. There you go. Catch you on the next one.